Welcome back. So, today I just wanted to talk a little bit about mindset of training. As I'm going through and working towards my Shodan, I'm also working on kata that are for our association, our Sandan or third degree kata, as well as the Nidan kata, Seipai, that I've been working on for a while. But over the last couple of days, I've started working on our Sandan kata of uh, Shisoshin. And it has really made me start thinking about what it means to practice karate. And really, what it means to practice law, even when I start thinking about my day job. And that's because, in a lot of ways, the approach is very similar in that when you think you got it figured out, and you probably need to start over, you probably need to check your premises, as Ayn Rand would say in the Atlas Shrugged novel, because at its core, both practices, be it karate or law, or I would imagine doctors would say the same thing. In a lot of ways, you're always a beginner and always treat things with that spirit of being a beginner. Um, so a little about sort of my karate practice, so that this makes a little bit more sense. But uh, so I have an arrangement with one of my senseis back in Florida, where once or twice a week, depending on when the gym is empty enough that I can record. I don't want to accidentally record kids as I'm training. Um, but when I'm training, I'll record videos of me doing our kata, and I will upload them to a Google Drive and uh, let Sensei know that they're there for him to take a look at, and I will get feedback that way. He'll send me video clips on via text message of how to correct certain things that I might need to be refining or whatnot. And so when I record, like I did today, I record basically every rep that I do, and I typically upload more or less 1 to 2 reps per kata that I go through. And today, as I was working through this new to me kata that I really started working on yesterday, there was start, stop. Oh crap, I forgot something. Turn off the camera, go back to my phone, pull up a video from the Goju Kai, the Goju Karate Center out of South Africa. They have a great YouTube channel that I'm using to kind of help uh, backfill some of that 101 level instruction where I need it. And, so I'd go back to that video, to that source video, and review. Then I'd go back out to the floor, turn the camera back on, and go again. And it would happen again and again and again and again. Um, as I've been going through and uploading things to the Google Drive and looking at the recordings that I did, it took at least 12 attempts to get 2 passable executions of the kata. And even then, as I'm sitting back and reviewing them, one of the last transitions, I was so focused on what is to me a very odd hand movement, where hands are going in completely different directions, doing different things. Struggle with coordination, right? I mean, I think we have all had it to some degree, but for me, it's something that I really do struggle with. So as I'm sitting here reviewing those videos, I'm like, holy crap! I was able to methodically get my hands to be mostly right, but I did nothing with my feet. And the second one, I caught it like right after I had finished my hands, and I was like, okay, well, great, I'll adjust my feet. But the reality is, that's what it is to be a beginner. And I would encourage students that are junior that when you're working on, be it your fundamental stance drills or working on the H pattern or one of the Geksai katas, or wherever you are in the curriculum, Saifa, Sayunshin, Sansiru, I mean, wherever you are in the curriculum, to always remember that every day is your first day. Every day you are a beginner. Every time that you touch the floor, are you checking to make sure that your sanshin is correct, that the angles on your shikodachi are correct, that you're getting depth on the shikodachi. That's something else that I was noticing that I was struggling with today, probably because I didn't do quite as much early kata before I started doing my run-throughs in Sayunchin, but whatever. I noticed that my stances weren't as deep as they normally are and as deep as I want them to get. So, okay, noted. And now we train it, right? So, always be the beginner, always go in humble. And especially when you have a sensei that's present with you, that's working with you in the dojo, training, giving corrections, take that stuff on board and be really respectful, regardless if you've done that kata 1,000 times. They've probably done it a couple thousand more times than you have. And there may be differences in how your body moves. That's great. But until you've gotten to the point where they're like, okay, I got it, like maybe your sanshin needs to be a little wider, work on what they're wanting you to work on, because that's going to be the fundamental that you can then kind of make your own a little bit as you develop all those muscle memory and all those fundamental skills. But trust the senseis, trust the process. And it's a community. I'm making these videos in large part for my dojo, my friends back in Florida, because I'm not there now and I don't know when I'll be back. Maybe next summer, maybe not. But while I'm away, I miss working with the other students and trying to help teach and help supplement what the senseis are doing when they're busy with another group of kids or whatever. So take advantage of that community. Everybody's a learner. Everybody's a teacher. If you're a junior black belt, you might learn something from a brown belt or a green belt, because if they've been sitting there drilling a particular kata or a particular drill with one of these senseis, you might, they may have gotten something that you haven't gotten in your time there yet. So always be humble, always be a beginner in mind, and train hard and keep your mind open and ask questions. Always seek knowledge, but that's part of that being a beginner. So until next time, Neemtai, everybody. Just as a postscript here on that video, I included a couple of those clips that I mentioned earlier from me working on that new product, just to show that every time you practice, you get a little better. Every time I worked through that kata, I got a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. And that is the key. Slow and steady wins the race. Persevere and endure. Lead track.